Alright my friends, here we are off of San John Street, or San John Road in Ventura. It's super foggy and even my glasses are fogging up right now, so things might look a little blurry. We're trying to read the water. Right now it just looks like there's just one primary sandbar and then perhaps a trough from there all the way in. So I'm just kind of blind casting through this trough a little bit. I'm gonna give it about 5 casts and then move on down the beach to see what else I can find. Looking for some more significant opportunity. Looking for bait, looking for food, looking for holes, rip currents, anything. The surf, as you can see, is really small. It's sunrise in about 20 minutes. I'm gonna fish, we're gonna see what happens. Okay, so in this scenario, I think I found this stretch of beach. There's a jetty over there, there's a jetty right here, and this seems to be the deepest spot. And it looks kind of choppy. It's kind of choppy, like right out there. So I'm thinking possible rip current right along the jetty in the deepest spot. Maybe that's how all the water from this beach is escaping. And so I'm gonna cast out into the middle of that rip current and try to bring it back near this jetty, not too far. Not too close to the jetty because I don't want to get snagged and lose my rig. But I'm gonna just try to fish that water right there along the jetty. Now that I've had a minute to look at it, I think that turbulence that you're seeing alongside the jetty is just the current moving over rocks. I think that's just rocks there, and if I cast over that, I'm just gonna get stuck in rocks. I don't think that's a rip current. I am noticing a lip. There's like a lip along this right here when the current goes out, so I'm noticing that, and I'm realizing how dramatic that is of a trough, how deep of a trough that creates with just like a 12-inch lip or maybe even an 8-inch lip or something like that. Can't see it right at the moment because the water's a little too high, but just trust me, it's over there. Okay, so I almost took a step forward here and then noticed that it goes down about 2-3 feet right here. So it's like just a drop off. So we've got a trough right in front of me, and I can see where the wave breaks just right in front of me here. It's not very long or deep. It's not very wide, but it is pretty long. And I'm not sure how long, but it goes down that ways quite a way. So I've decided to start casting sideways. Now I'm just learning here, guys. I don't even know if this is a good idea. Should I stand at the end of this trough and cast sideways into this trough, this close to the shore, or is that a waste of time? Am I, by standing here 5 feet away from that trough, am I scaring all of the fish, the corbina, the perch? I don't know. I'm gonna try just going down to the end of this thing and casting sideways along it and try to fish this long trough that's right along the edge here, and then move on, because there's really nothing else I can access from here. All right, so what I discovered is this long trough. This lip. There's a lip, and there's just this long trough, about maybe 2 or 3 feet deep. So I've been fishing it. I've actually had 2 bites inside of it. 2 little bites, little nibbles. Just not really sure if it's worth putting in the time right here or not. So I fished it a lot, so I'm gonna give up on it. I do want to fish this pool right here, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on out there. I mean, that's a sandbar, and so maybe there's a series of troughs. Maybe we're sitting over deep water right there. This is almost kind of like a point right here, so I'm gonna cast out here a few more times before I move on and see what's around the river bend. My goodness, believe it or not, this fish bit right there. I mean, right where you see it. Directly straight ahead and about 10 feet away from my toes, right there. That was pretty trippy, man. I cast it to the other side of that pool. I brought it in and he bit. So I guess I did something good here. I guess I found the biggest part of this trough. It's like the biggest part of it. I guess that's what I did right here. So I'm gonna cast in here some more and see if there isn't some big fish. I'm still in that same spot with that long trough, and I'm just noting to self that it's just north of Tower 7. That's Tower 7 there. And this is the long trough. It's just this whole stretch of beach all the way almost up to that other jetty. There's just a long trough, so in a higher tide, boy, man, that's a lot of deep water to cast into. I'm gonna fish the hell out of this. So a tip I got last night from someone online was find the food. If you can find the food, you might be able to find fish. And I haven't seen any sand crabs or really anything to speak of along this beach, except for a bed of tiny sand crabs. They were really small. And this jetty has mussels growing all over it, so I don't know. I'm thinking maybe there's food here. Mussels. Fish love mussels. I'm gonna try to fish a little bit closer to this jetty. Maybe there's fish here looking for food in the water. I'm gonna give it a cast or two and then move over to the other side of the jetty and see what kind of structure we have in store for us over there. Okay, on this side of the jetty, it's a totally different world. It's just lots of flat beach, lots of skinny. Maybe something different is happening right there. Maybe. Just looks, actually the wave's a little bit higher right there. So that's not usually a good sign. The wave's bigger. Long rolling breakers. I've heard that can be good for perch. I've heard the skinny is great for corbina, but you know, good luck, Vincent. Just to sort of document the nature of this structure and these troughs, I want to show what we're looking at here. I was just walking in, you know, skinny water here. Look, foot high, right? And straight ahead, see this? Trough. Choppy water, deep water. Look, there's a little hole here. Look, all of a sudden, bam, down to my shins, down to my knees. Okay, I'm now in the middle of this hole right here. I'm up to my knees. Now, if the tide was a little higher, I'm up to my thighs now. Look at this. Look, that's the beach. Bam, thigh high, thigh deep right here. So this will hold fish. No question about it. Fish will get up inside of that shit. They'll be looking for food and eating. If there's food around, they'll be in there. If they can get into this hole. So I want to explore and understand the structure of this thing. First I need to cast into it. Spooking all the fish and I'm not even giving them a chance. But look at that. That's probably too shallow for me to be fishing, but you know, there could easily be corbina or who knows. So there's a big sandbar right here, obviously you can go stand on the other side of this trough. I'm trying to figure out, where does this trough, you know, what happens? Physically, what happens here? Is there any point at which water accumulates and needs to dump off and there's a rip current somewhere? I'm seeing this choppiness here. Again, you can just look right down, you can see the lip. You can get a good view of this thing right now. Like a moon-shaped trough. But now I'm seeing the choppiness of that, and I recognize it from over there. What it is it's a series of little troughs, and I mean micro troughs. So I don't know if those will hold fish, but sure as hell I'm gonna cast over there and see what happens. Anyways, once just in case. I just learned something. You see that? That's what I want to show you right there. Bam. Okay, see, here's this outgoing water. See this? It's outgoing water. Watch what happens when it hits the incoming water. Boom. So that, when you see that, that does not indicate the end of a trough and a lip. I thought that indicated a lip, but that's actually just outgoing water meeting incoming water. Watch, it's gonna happen right now. Boom. So that's all that is, and it might help me to find rips. See, you can watch the water continue to travel in that direction. That's a rip, I think. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. What's going on over here? With this deep water and all this chop, and boom. And it gets a little bit high, the waves get a little bit high right there. I'm gonna find out what's going on over there. I'm gonna go investigate. It's good to be in waders. It's very good to get into waders and get into the water and be close to what's going on, in the proximity of what's going on, so you can look directly under you and see how deep it is and really like explore the contour and really figure out how the water moves over it. This is hard, man. This is really hard to read. Reading water is a mystery. It's like speaking another language, man. I'm just getting introduced. I just saw 2 corbina just coming. Look, right there. There's one right there. Do you see it? Boom. There was a corbina. Okay, guess what else there is? There's a freaking bed of sand crabs right there. So this is it, guys. I'm gonna go get some sand crabs. I'm gonna get out of the water and I'm gonna fish this water and I'm gonna catch a corbina, my first corbina. It's a big bed of sand crabs right in front of you. So that's what you're seeing. All that rough patch, those are nice big sand crabs. So that's why the corbina were here. We found the food. I'm gonna fish this skinny until something yanks. Shit. Alright guys, so I literally just had a bite. In 6 inches of water, straight out ahead, about 40, 50 feet away. It was the weirdest thing because it wasn't at all what I imagined a corbina bite would feel like. I thought a corbina would grab it and just take off. But this was like boom, 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 like that. It wasn't like a perch would go like a machine gun, but it was like boom, 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 like it was chewing on it or something. So basically there's a bed of sand crabs right in front of me. And I'm just casting out in front of that. And just trying to keep my line in that skinny. Check out how I got this hooked. Here's how I got it hooked. See, that tip is like, that could get in the way. I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna remove that so you can see the hook. The tip of the hook is in the shell again. See, I don't want that. So I'm just kind of waiting for, that's the water right there. That's where they're gonna eat when you've got your line in that skinny, calm water. So I just kind of sit here and wait for the wave to roll up and then cast over it. Here we go. Okay, now I'm just gonna keep my line tight. So that means it's gonna be coming in real slowly. And I'm hoping that it'll just be sitting in just the right spot, just the right time. And corbina will say, hey, that's what I'm looking for, and it'll grab it. It'll grab it. I'll lower my rod tip, count to about 3, and then set that freaking hook. Let me know if I'm doing wrong, guys. Let me know if I should set the hook immediately, or maybe, I don't know. Just let me know if I'm doing this wrong. Still fishing the skinny here. Still just keeping my line in the water, keeping my eyes open for those corbina. Oh, I had at least 2 takes so far. At least 2, maybe 3. Because, well, I felt one of them. And then I also felt the second one, but it was like really subtle. And when I brought in my line, the crab was crushed, like something crushed it. Something put it in its mouth and chewed on it. So, put on another crab, felt something, some kind of resistance, and the crab was gone when I reeled it in. So I've had at least 2 takes, if not 3. And I was just fishing really close in where I was seeing them here in the skinny, just casting out a little bit, like 20-30 feet beyond that, and then bringing it into that zone. But I've been doing that for an hour now. Well, I have had some takes, so I have had some success with that, so maybe I should just keep doing that. But I've changed it up a little bit now, and I'm trying to cast out even farther, just like out there, because it's skinny out there too, I think. and then slowly bring it in towards me. So that way I'm covering more water just to see if maybe, I mean, they've got to be taking shelter somewhere. These fish are coming in shallow, grabbing sand crabs, and then as the water recedes, they swim back out. And so where are they going? There must be a trough or a hole or something that they're kind of ducking down into while they wait for the next wave. So I'm gonna fish all this water. Still just fishing. Just a moment ago, something interesting happened. There was a big wave, the biggest wave I've seen yet today, about that size right there, and bigger than that actually, and all this water came in. As you can see behind me, it went all the way up there. So I was up to about my knee in water right here, and my bait was not far away from me. It was just like right where it's at right now. Maybe 20, 30 feet as far as I know. Like this. See all this water? So I was just holding my line like this, and then I started getting tap, 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 tap. Kept tapping for about 15 seconds. Ate all the eggs out of my sand crab, because when I got the sand crab back up, there was no eggs. Well, there were some eggs left. So I chucked that crab, put a new one on. Oh, dude, fish just spooked right there, right in front of me. It really happens. It's amazing that really happens. Like, dude, I had my bait like right in its face. I was really close to it. I guess you just gotta get lucky. Like, you just gotta get lucky. They just gotta see it and grab it. I can imagine it's gotta be hard for them to see in all this. Wow, look how chill it looks out there right now. Alright, so I'm thinking, anyways, the point is, see when that big wave like that came, and it just brought all this water in. So I'm gonna cast over that wave. Here we go. I'm reeling in. Don't get dizzy, guys. Close your eyes. I'm gonna cast over this way. Now look at all this water. It's super low tide. Like, actually, low tide's at 10. It's 9:30. Here we go. I'm casting over this way. Oh, that was a shitty cast. Oh well. I don't need to go very far. Do not need to go very far. Here we go. Just keep my line tight. Keeping my line tight, my rod tip up, so that way, if I get a bite, I'm gonna lower the rod tip for 2 seconds, let them chomp it down, swallow it, and then feel if there's pressure, whack, set the hook. The Corbina are probably behind me now. They're probably back there somewhere. Just watch as this water recedes, and we'll probably see one. Put the line out behind me. There, right there. I see one right there. Looked like a salmon. It was coming down the beach. God, that's so exciting. So how do we catch those little bastards? Maybe I need to back up and get out of the water again. Sounds like a good idea. So I learned something from watching that surfer. He caught a wave, he wiped out, and then he stood up, and he was only up to his calves in water. And I was up to my thigh in water. I was standing on this side of him. So I was actually standing in the middle of a trough. The sandbar's out there, that's what he's catching waves off of. I'm gonna make my last cast and then start heading back north, because sadly, I did not hook one. Been here for a couple hours, I think. Been fishing this spot probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I don't know how long. So it just seems to me that if I haven't caught a Corvina in that long, then I should probably give up on this spot and start making my way back to the car, fishing my way back. Keep my line tight here. to get a good last cast here, just in case. I mean, I know they're still here. There's no reason to stop fishing. The conditions are still pretty good. The waves are getting bigger, bringing in more water, which might be good. It's probably after low tide now. Maybe this is low tide right now. Maybe that's why those waves look bigger. It's because it's shallower now. Okay, just a side note here. So pleased to discover that there's a bunch of little agates all over the beach here. Lived here for a month and a half now and just never even discovered that quality of agate before on the beach here. So pretty excited. Yeah. So here I see something that looks like possibly sand crabs. I'm gonna check it out really quick. If there's food here, I'm gonna cast here. We'll see how it goes. Also, it's kind of a point. Seemed like a little bit of a point, so I wanted to cast out anyways and see if I could find a hole. Okay guys, check it out. Look what I found. What is that? It looks like a river that's dumping into the ocean. That's actually the cut for the trough. There's a trough, that trough that I was making my way down earlier this morning. I was looking for where does it cut out? Where's the rip current? Where? There it is. Bam. So check it out. Life Tower 7. Lifeguard Tower 7. There's a black house. There's a peach house with a big weird looking chimney. And that's the cut. So I'm gonna be coming back here more towards high tide and fishing this spot because this is where the current is gonna be, and the rip current, and the food is gonna be dumping into the water. That's what happens. See, there's all kinds of stuff in here. All kinds of stuff. And a lot of that is food for fish, or at least the fish think it's food, and they're eating it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cast straight out because there's food in the water around here, obviously. I think. And we're gonna see what happens in this area here. Maybe there's some fish on the prowl. Whoa. I was gonna just walk right on by this because it just looks like a lot of skinny, flat water, no deep holes, nothing, no structure. Then I noticed this huge bed of sand crabs. It was like a nice big 20-foot bed, and they're good sized crabs, so chances are this has got corvina crawling around in it. I've got to give it some time. Put in a little time here for the corvina. You know, who knows, maybe I'll get lucky. Catch my first corvina. That's the idea. Enjoy the beautiful ocean. A lot of girls on the beach today looking for sea glass. It's fun to talk to them. Okay, so you can see this water's moving to the left. And then right over there it spills out. So, this is Lifeguard Tower number 8. Number 8, and almost directly in front of Lifeguard Tower number 8. A cut. So, that's where this trough dumps out. So I'll definitely be hitting that. This whole trough will be collecting water and then dumping it out right over there. That's where I'll be. Just to the right of Life Tower number 8. I already said that. There's another tiny cut here. Oh, about 300 yards north of Lifeguard Tower number 8. So there's one like almost right in front of it to the right, and then there's one about 300 yards to the right. It's about 200 yards to the, maybe 300 yards to the jetty to the north there. And look how deep the trough is. Look, it's like about two feet deep. Just dumps out right there. So, you know what the heck? I'm gonna go give it a couple casts. On my way out of here, might as well try my luck. Let's see if I can just get one nice perch on my way out of here. That would be great. Got a bunch of mussel on my hook here. Cracked open a mussel and loaded up my hook. Look at all this water, man. Bringing bird feathers and basically fish food, just all kinds of fish food here. Now I'm not gonna go in the water. I'm gonna sneak up on it, see what happens. Here we go. Let's give it a try. I just had a Corvina or two in front of me here, teasing me. So I threw at him a few times and nothing happened. Just sort of backing out here. He should be in there right now. I'm sure he's swimming around in there right now. As this water recedes, you just might get to see him. Just wait for it here. I'm gonna keep my, oh, there. See that? Swell? That swell right in front of us? That might have been him. I might have just spooked him. I might be a little too close. And yet my bait is not in front of his face. I'm having problem solve this yet. I haven't exactly figured out how it works. Keep your eyes open. You might see him right now as this water recedes. Is that him? Wow, look at that. All the water just went away. Holy crap. This is what you call a flat right here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Getting to see this structure at low tide is pretty great because I don't usually see it here. I didn't realize it was this deep right here. Jeez. Wow. So when the tide is up, I should totally be casting in here. I didn't realize that there was going to be a bunch of fish holding in right here. See? I never knew that. This is great. This is great. This is great. So anyways, it's 12 o'clock. It's almost 12 o'clock, guys. I've been fishing since 5:30 in the morning. I think it's time to call it a day with one small perch, some more bites. I had like 3 or 4 more bites, probably perch, and then I had at least 2 or 3 bites from those Corvina, which I never hooked up. They crushed my sand crabs and they yanked them off, but they didn't get that hook in their lip. So, but I'm learning. That was my first time ever really Corvina fishing. That was my first time ever doing that. And I fish low tide. So it is what it is. You get what you get. I guess my final notes here. What I did really well today. I walked really far. And I tried really hard to read water. You know what was great is that I got intimate with the water. I like got in it with my waders, and I felt where all the holes were and the troughs were. I located a lot of good structure. I understand the structure of this beach a lot better now. Found lots of rip currents. There's one right there. So you can see that this trough is dumping out right there, and you can see the foam that's making its way out there. And shoot, I don't think I casted right there. I wish I had casted right there. Anyways, I fished my way all the way down to Seaward, and then all the way back up to San John. So I like to fish, lots of time in the water, learning lots, documenting a lot. And it was just a beautiful day, great weather. I found a bunch of agates. I've got a pocket full of agates right now. I'm gonna go home and check those out. Maybe take pictures of those, maybe add them to this video. But I'll be back. Very tempted to come back later today, but I probably won't because I fished a lot. And now it's time to go home and do work. Go do some work for my clients. So let's go kick back, maybe in bed with my laptop, eat some food and build some websites and fun stuff like that. Until next time, thanks for going fishing with Vince. Vince goes fishing. That's what this is. Vince goes fishing. Vince goes fishing. See you guys. Have fun out there.